Alright, we are back with part 2 of setting up the Fire Stick. Hopefully you're watching these in order. The first video showed you how to download this app from the Amazon App Store and to change your settings, which if you haven't done that, you go to settings, device, you want to go to developer options and make sure both of these are turned on. They will initially be turned off by default on the device. So this time we are going to go to the search function there again, and we're going to type in ES. That's about all we usually have to type in, but we'll do space. ES Explorer, there we go. As soon as we did the space, it came up. If you click on ES Explorer, the very first thing that comes up should be this, ES File Explorer. I already have it installed on mine, so it went right to it. It'll prompt you to install it, and you just click install, and that'll be that. So when we go to ES File Explorer, basically this is like a browser because the Fire Stick does not come with its own browser. When you get to this page, you have to hit to the left a couple of times. Now you can see settings is highlighted there. You want to go to favorites, click that, click on add, and this will come up. You want to click the center button, and you're going to type in this path, HTTP, and we have to go down here and change this to symbols, colon, / go back to letters, fire, TV, guru dot net. That's all you have to do, just like that. HTTP : firetvguru.net. Click next. It's going to do this. It wants you to name it. You can name it whatever you want as long as you remember what it is. I already have it saved on mine as FTG, so I'll put it in FTG, and it should just stay the same hopefully for me. Now this comes up, you might be able to see it, you might not, but cancel is just barely highlighted there. I'm moving it back and forth between cancel and add. You want to click add. Bookmark is created. Now you can just go down and look for your bookmark, and there it is, FTG. If you click on that, it's going to take you to the web page. Now, some web pages can be hard to nearly impossible to navigate with the Fire Stick remote. And there is a mouse toggle application that makes it a lot easier. And I'll show you that in a future video. For this website, it's not necessary. This one's really fairly easy to navigate. When you bring up the website here, if you just click to the right, you'll see, maybe you can see, maybe you can't now, the little world with web and then the X is highlighted. Okay, so now I know I'm on the page. If you just click down, now it puts me on the page. Anytime there's something to click on, right now it's see it here is highlighted, then Facebook, those are going to highlight. So I'm just going to keep going down, scrolling down with the remote, and now I'm here. You can see I'm going through the get zip here's, which one's highlighted, just using the ring to navigate up and down. Alright, so I'm going to do the top one, Fire MC 17.2 with the wizard. And you want to click over to the right to get app here, or get APK here. You click on that, nothing's going to happen. Now you got to click to the left 2 times. It'll bring you back over to this side menu. Go the whole way down till you're on the bottom at local, and then come across to these 3 dots that say more. Click on that, and then click down 3 times to open in browser. It's going to say you want to open with ES downloader, and click yes. You can click always or just once, whatever. Now your download's going to start. This is a 90 megabyte download, and I'm only doing about a half a megabyte per second, so it's going to take probably about 3 minutes. Well, there it says time remaining 3 minutes. So again, this is the easiest way. It's not the best way, but I think it's the easiest way to get a pretty decent build. And by build, a developer took the Kodi program and tweaked it and added the add-ons that they like, to make it the way they wanted it to. This guy did it specifically to work well on the Fire TV and the Fire Stick. That's one thing I like about it. It works pretty much the way it's supposed to. He updates it on a regular basis, and it's fairly easy to download. Now you can download a plain version of Kodi from FireDL, which we used in the last video to get the APKs for the movies and the TV and stuff. And then you can add add-ons from that, and I can show you how to do that in a future video. But to get a full working version of Kodi with the add-ons already in it, and it doesn't have a whole lot of junk to it. It has what you need for the most part, and it seems to work pretty good. So, when you want to customize it down the road, that's a different story. I can even show you how to do your very own build with backgrounds and all that stuff. But this is by far the simplest way to get a decent working version of Kodi onto your Fire Stick, at least in my opinion. There's some other really simple ways. You can even download a version right from FireDL by punching in a code. However, that version I'm not really too fond of. There's another app that you can download through FireDL, which will give you access to a bunch of different versions that you can try out, and I'll try to show you that in a future video. But right now, the objective is to get a working version of Kodi onto the Fire Stick as easy as possible. And this is how we're doing it. So we got about 30 seconds left here. When this is done, it's going to prompt me to install it. We're going to install it. We'll open it up, and I will show you from there. When we first open it up, it's going to be a bare version of Kodi, and within a couple of seconds it'll put some prompts up on the screen if you want to install a build. If you want to leave it as a bare version and install add-ons individually down the road, you can do that too. But we're going to install a build on it. So now this is all done. Open folder is selected. We want to move over to open file and click on that. And now it's going to prompt us to install it. So we click over to install, click install. Now this is going to come up again. We hit down twice. Cancel is highlighted. So we'll move over once to install and click install. I can't really think of anything else to tell you. While the build itself is installing, that's when I'll probably stop this video and take a break and pick it back up after it's finished installing, because it's going to take probably 7 or 8 minutes with my internet service to do that. So it's done installing. We go over to open and click open. Now this is what's going to pop up. It's initially going to be a bare version of Kodi, and I believe within a few seconds it'll start prompting us to do whether we want to install a build or not. So here's what, it's not a bare version, but it's pretty bare. Just wait a few seconds. Now here, when this pops up, you move over and click dismiss, and then go to install build in the center here. First run help, blah blah blah. Okay. Well, I'm not sure what I did. Okay, so here's our build menu. We're running the newest version of Kodi, which is 17. So we have 3 builds. It says 6. I'm not sure why. Oh, I know why. But there's 3 here to choose from. There's a regular Fire TV, there's Fire TV Lite, and there's a Titan Skin Lite. If you want to add XXX or adult add-ons, you want to choose one of these first 2. You might be able to do it with this one, I'm not sure. But if you install one of these, when it's installing, it'll prompt you to install a theme, and that's basically asking you if you want to add the adult add-ons. If you don't, you can just click no. If you do, you can click yes. I like this skin, or this way this looks, and I don't need the adult add-ons because I'm not allowed to watch them anyway. So I'm going to do this one. If you aren't running much on your Fire Stick, this is the original one, the Fire TV build up top here, is probably the most comprehensive version. It may be a tad slow on the Fire Stick, but it works just fine. But the light one has everything you need, and these 2 are the same, just the skin, the look of them is different. So I'm going to do this one here. And when I click on that one, it's going to ask me to do a fresh start or standard install. Now, if you had a previous version loaded on your Kodi and you decided to want to change it to a different version, like let's say you install this version, you decide, hey, I want to try the other one out. That, if there's anything at all on your Kodi program, you want to do a fresh start, then install. And even if there isn't, it's not going to hurt anything. But I just installed this. I know there's nothing on it, so I'm just going to click standard install. It's going to say, hey, do you want to make sure you want to install this one? Yes, I do. Now it's going to start installing. This is 198 megabytes, and at my internet speed, it's going to take about 7 minutes. Now, one thing, this is probably where I'm going to stop the video, and I'll come back after this is done. It'll finish downloading, and then it will actually install the files, which will take another few minutes. But one thing I want to mention here is that your Fire Stick, you can change the settings as to how frequently it goes into hibernation, but by default it's like 3 minutes or 4 minutes, something like that. So as this is downloading and installing, you don't want to just walk away from it. If your Fire Stick goes into hibernation, it can cause problems with the install. So you want to keep an eye on it, and if the screen dims, you can just hit any button on the remote. I just usually hit the ring, a direction on the ring, and it'll wake it back up. So you have a few seconds to catch it when the screen dims, before it actually goes into sleep or hibernation mode. So keep an eye out for that, and as this is going through, make sure you don't let it go to sleep on you. Alright, so this is where I'm going to end this, and the last part, I'll either put these two parts together or there will be a third part, and that'll be the final installation, and we'll open it up and see what it looks like. Alrighty, see you later.